Hello guys. As you can probably tell, today we're going to be working on a little bit of a project together. It's first thing in the morning, it's Sunday morning, so I've got my coffee, but as you can tell, we are going to be doing a little bit of a decoupage project. So I absolutely love the Flower Fairies illustrations, and I was able to score a copy of this one secondhand that still had all of the decoupage bits in it. And so if you know me in real life, as I'm sure a couple of you guys watching probably do, then you'll know that I have been in the midst of remodeling my art studio space, which is now mostly done, at least the remodeling part, and what's left is some redecorating. And one of those things is I got a large full-length mirror, and I had the idea of repainting the frame a different color and then decoupaging some of these flowers and bits on the outside. So I figured we would just take some time on this Sunday morning to sit and cut out Flower Fairies decoupage. Maybe do a little bit of a chit chat. I've never actually done decoupage before, but I'm not very worried about it because I do collage and I feel like it's not that different. I've got some tools. I've got my big scissors and I have my little X-Acto knife, which isn't too sharp, so we'll see how it fares. Some of these bits are like really small and detailed, but this book is so perfect, it almost feels wrong to like start cutting into it, but let's go ahead and go. I think I'm just going to start cutting out like swaths of little flowers, and then we'll get kind of into the smaller details. My plan of action as it stands now, I think, is to just take kind of a few of the flowers from each of the different like color schemes and cut those out, and then kind of evaluate after I go through the book and see how many I've accumulated and if I need to go back and cut out more. I do think I'm going to start with just flowers. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut out any of the fairies yet, just because the mirror frame is kind of narrow, and so they'd have to wrap around the side. And I feel like that looks, I don't know, I feel like that would be a little strange. So I'm gonna start with just the flowers. So here we've got some pink ones and a couple baby blue ones. I have a nice big board to keep me from, carving up my whole desk. And let's go ahead and get started. These two are kind of attached, I see. So it's like one larger piece. And my strategy is just kind of go all the way around the edges first, and then I can go in with the X-Acto. But we'll see how close I can get with the scissors, because the scissors are a lot easier to use than the X-Acto. At least mine. Maybe I really need to invest in a sharper one. After this, I'm making a foray to the craft store to get my very first bottle of Mod Podge. It's hard to believe I've made it this far being into arts and crafts and never using Mod Podge, but here we go. I also haven't decided what base color I'm going to paint the mirror, so that'll be interesting. I may just wait until I cut out all these flowers and then kind of look at the pile and try to decide what color would look best underneath. I'm realizing now, as I'm getting into this, that I probably won't be able to film me doing all of the decoupage. Otherwise, this video might be hours long. And I don't think anyone wants to watch decoupage for that long. But I also don't really want to do a whole time lapse of it, so we'll sit and cut decoupage together for a bit, maybe until I finish my cup of coffee, and then we'll see how far we've gotten. Here, I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go, look at that. Okay. Let's work some X-Acto magic. I'm curious to know if anybody watching this does decoupage as a hobby. I don't think I've ever met anyone that was really into it. I think I am the person that I know who is most likely to be into decoupage. I think a lot of other people I know would find this very tedious and not in a fun way. So if you're into decoupage, let me know. I would be really interested to see. All right, we're making some headway over here. As I'm filming this, we've just completed the first week of October. And around Seattle, it's definitely turning into fall. Well, I say that, it hit nearly 80 degrees yesterday, but the leaves are starting to change. Some of the rain has been coming back. And that part is very exciting. Well, not necessarily the rain. For living around Seattle, I don't really love the rain, but it does feel kind of strange to have such dry summers. But the weather's been fairly nice. I believe it's supposed to be pretty nice again today, although as I'm looking out my window, I can see a ton of fog looming ominously over the pines. So we'll see if it's actually nice or just not pouring down rain nice. Which, you know, for Seattle, that's something. I guess I can also use this opportunity to shout out where I got this book from. I think when I was introducing this video, I said I scored it secondhand. That's not a lie, it is secondhand. However, that is a little deceiving. It makes it sound like I searched for it in a used bookstore, stumbled upon it. Not so. I used Thrift Books, which is maybe my new favorite website. It is just so good. The books that they have in stock on there, the prices are really great. I am almost always able to find everything I am looking for, which is just such a huge time saver. I love wandering around used bookstores. However, I feel like one of the only ways to have fun in a used bookstore is to not really have a mission, because it can be really hard to find very specific things. And so that's where Thrift Books has really come in handy for me. This isn't sponsored, although I wish it was. I would advertise for them. They're great. They have a point system. And so after you make so many purchases, and I have made a few, you can earn a free book, which is great. But anyway, that's where I was able to find this decoupage book. I didn't even know it existed, but I was looking for the complete collection of the flower fairies, which I did end up also finding. And maybe sometime I can make a video going through some of the illustrations in that, because, oh, just stunning. Hang on, I'll pause really fast. I want to show you guys this one. Nice and cut out. Is it perfect? No. But if you're expecting it to be perfect, you may be sorely disappointed. Pop that one up there. All right, I think I'm actually going to raise you guys up again higher. I think it's probably more interesting, you guys, to watch me cut out big swaths of flowers than spend however many minutes, 10 minutes on one tiny one. So up you go. And let's find some more flowers to cut out. Definitely want to get some of these orange ones. Oh, but anyway, I was looking for the complete collection of the flower fairies on Thrift Books, and this one came up as a result. I was so excited by it. Just because if you know anything about my art, you know I love collage, and so this is just the perfect sort of project for me. Oh man, lots of choices. Let's get some of these reds and oranges. Go through here. I know this book has lots of very specific projects that you could do. Letter rack, pencil holder, decorated pencils. I thought that was really cool and cute. I have my own plans for these guys. Gonna do, ooh, I like these like sage green leaves. Grab a couple of those. I'm sure you can buy scissors that are more suited to paper crafts. These are the ones that I have always used for collage. They're really sewing scissors, and they're the best ones that I have for the project, but I don't know if there exists such a thing as like collaging scissors. I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, these are so cute. I don't know if you can see them. They're really tiny little strawberries. They're so little. It'd be so hard to cut out. Ooh, there's some like lavender over here. That's lavender. And some little butterflies. Those will be cute. Sorry in advance, I'm gonna say cute like a million times in this video. Some leaves. Oh, some more of the same pink flowers, that's good to know. I think that might be the end of the scraps. Yep, all these are just project instructions. Okay. Flower fairies to the side. Lower you guys back down. There we go. All right, let's do some leaves. So as I said, we're just entering the second week of October. I am not doing Inktober, but I am doing kind of my own October art challenge. A challenge of my own design, I could say, which I'm calling Leaftober. I'm sure Leaftober already exists. I'm sure that is somebody's project that they're working on also. But the Leaftober that I am working on is I have committed to I've committed to posting a drawing of a leaf every day in October. And it can't be any leaf. It has to be a leaf I am drawing specifically for this project, because I do have a large backstock of leaves. I could cheat, but I'm not going to. And it has to be a leaf that I have found, and I have to draw it from life, not just like see it and take a photo. And I've been having such a fun time collecting them. It has really kind of forced me to look down when I'm walking around, especially on my kind of normal routes to and from work and around my own yard, around my own house, to see what different leaves I can find. And for living in a pretty urban/suburban area, I've been able to find a pretty big variety, which I'm enjoying. It is definitely my goal to be able to draw a lot of different colors and a lot of different textures. And it's become kind of its very own mindfulness activity in a way. So that's been really enjoyable. So far, we're only 7 days in. Well, today's the 8th. I still have to post my October 8th leaf, which I hate to say I'm not drawing today. I did draw it the day before yesterday. I have allowed myself that I'm allowed to draw multiple leaves in a day, just because drawing every single day can be a little bit tricky, and it doesn't really accommodate for like if you're having a busier day or if it's just been a rough day. It's nice to have a little bit of drawing backstock to fall back on. I keep forgetting that my coffee exists, which is terrible because I don't like cold coffee, so if I don't drink it while it's still hot, it will not get drank. These little ridges are tricky. I don't know how worth it it's going to be to cut out every single one. It's kind of another reason I'm not too stressed about doing these about doing all of these edges perfectly. It's just because they're going to be on the frame of a mirror and they're mostly going to be observed from kind of a distance, so we're not stressing out too much about them. And by we, I mean me. One of these white flowers. I've been really favoring this style of video in terms of it being easier for me to film, just because I do really enjoy recording my process a little bit, and I do enjoy posting on YouTube, but man, editing is just really, it's not my favorite. I'm not very good at it yet, and so it can be a little discouraging when I can't make things look the way that I want to. And so what ends up happening is I have all of these great ideas for videos, and then the thought of editing them is so daunting that I never make them, which is a shame. But these style of videos, obviously, are very easy. They require extremely minimal editing. I'm sure I will maybe trim out a little bit of this and maybe put in some like calm background music that I'm sure you're listening to right now. And that is pretty much it. And then I can have something to post. And so maybe someday I will change how I feel about editing. If I miraculously gain more free time in my life, not very likely. But for now, I figured that it's better to just do something that I can accomplish than to want to do something and just never accomplish anything. So that's why maybe seeing an influx of this style of video coming up. Just because I love to chit chat, I love to work on projects, but man, the editing, I don't have time. Well, I do have time. I don't want to spend my free time doing that because it's not relaxing. And for my full-time job, I work with children. So my free time needs to be at least a little bit relaxing. Because my job can have quite a bit of chaos in it. This flower's not so bad. I don't think I need the X-Acto knife at all. I'm creating so much little paper waste. I think the recycling bin is one of the best things I ever bought for my art studio. Which, speaking of, I am still working on doing some redecorating. I'm doing this mirror project, not that that one's really stressing me out, but I still do need to rehang all of my framed art that I had on the walls. I had a bit of a gallery wall that I need to put back up. But then hopefully either this month or next month, I do plan on filming an updated art studio tour. So I can post a video about that and maybe post a picture of it on my Instagram or something. But yeah, it's a work in progress. This room wasn't usable to me for several months. Well, my best friend was staying in this room for several months, and then after that, a while back, my house had a roof leak and there was some damage done in this room. And so even after my best friend moved out, I really wanted to get that all taken care of before I redecorated and started making art and everything. And it was beyond the kind of thing that I could repair myself. So we ended up getting somebody out here that could repair that wall and the ceiling. I removed the popcorn ceiling myself, mostly myself. My husband did help a lot with the finishing touches and sanding it and everything. But I got the bulk of it off in an afternoon, which made me feel like Wonder Woman a little bit. I think it looks so much better now. I have never been a fan of popcorn ceiling, and this house has it in every single bedroom. But after removing it in this room, I think I need to take a break before I tackle any of the other rooms. Well, one of the rooms is my husband's office, and he doesn't care about it, so that one will probably stay. But I would at least like to get the popcorn ceiling out and maybe sometime repaint our master bedroom. That is not a huge priority of mine. That one can wait. The art studio is a little more important to me just because I spend more creative time in here. And I feel like the space where you do your creative work is one of the most important to get right. Otherwise, it's hard to do creative work. Oop. I bent that. Maybe I'll wait and use the X-Acto for that piece. I don't want it to rip. I want to drink this coffee so I can show you guys this mug. It's one of my favorite ones. Oh, speaking of, that's the other thing. That's the other project I am working on. I have a bit of a tendency to want to purchase every cute mug I see, which, big shocker, in a city that loves coffee as much as Seattle, I see a lot of very cute coffee mugs. However, we are running out of space in the kitchen to store them. And so I have not been able to acquire any more. However, the last time I was at Goodwill, I found a kind of wooden display rack shelf situation. I don't know if it was originally for mugs, but it's going to fit several of my coffee mugs perfectly. But I think I'm going to paint that a different color. And then it's just solid on the back right now, but I want to hang it above our kitchen table. So I'm gonna need to install some kind of like hanging hardware, which I've not done before, but I'm fairly confident I can do all by myself. So that will probably require another trip to Home Depot, which I used to really not enjoy going to Home Depot, but gotta admit, after going so many times when I was redoing the art studio, now I'm kind of over it, and now it's not really, I don't dread it so much. Hello? There you go. Man, these designs are beautiful, but they sure are detailed. And very curvy. But again, we're not worrying too much about perfection here. I think I want to do one of these orange flowers next. The bigger my like stack of little pieces I've accumulated gets, the more excited I get about this project. I think it's gonna look really cute when I get them all Mod Podged on there. I mean, this is probably gonna take like a huge chunk of my day. I can see now that I've already been filming for over half an hour, and I've only got, this is gonna be the 5th piece, so this may not be feasible to all get done this weekend. I may have to carve out some time next weekend to keep cutting out decoupage, but I'm going to the craft store later today in the afternoon, and I'm at least determined to pick out some paint for the mirror and get the like base color of paint done. So then if I have to wait until next weekend to Mod Podge everything on, that's fine. Well, and I'm off work tomorrow too, but I have plans with a friend in the morning. Maybe I can get some more decoupage done in the afternoon. We'll see. I also need to draw a couple more leaves this weekend so that I have a little bit of a backstock for the upcoming work week. Not necessarily because it's hard for me to draw after work, which sometimes it is, but it's more so that at this point in the year, it's really hard to photograph drawings during the work week because it is still so dark when I leave the house, and it starts getting dark by the time I get home. And so even when it's still a little bit light out, it's just, I don't know, I prefer to photograph drawings in natural light. That is just a little bit hard to come by on days when I'm gone during the brightest part of the day. Although right now we're working with, I have a desk lamp on next to me, and this lighting is not too bad. I'm pretty picky about what lighting looks like, especially when I photograph. but this lamp is like showing the decoupage colors really nicely, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take pictures with. We'll have to do some experimenting. All right, I'll do maybe one more and we'll call it a day for this video. Let's see, I think maybe one of these like longer pink ones will be cute. Oh, and maybe I can check my coffee so I can show you guys my favorite mug. It's decaf anyway. Oh, I was gonna talk about, since it's October, I've been seeing so much about Halloween, and I'm getting really excited about it. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and I'm just starting to think about what I'm going to dress up as to go out the weekend before Halloween, which usually I know a lot further in advance, but kind of got away from me this year. I have a couple ideas. I think I know what I'm gonna go with, but I don't want to say it in case I change my mind. But it's always exciting. And now that we live in a neighborhood that has kids, I know that my husband and I will get trick-or-treaters on Halloween, which is always so cute. I'm kind of glad that Halloween is on a weeknight so that we can leave the house and go out and have fun on the weekend before Halloween and then be home to pass out candy on Halloween night. I'm very excited. We had no idea last year how many trick-or-treaters we'd get, but we got a bit more than I was expecting. I was really happy about it. I thought it was gonna be kind of sad if we like bought candy and waited and didn't get anybody, but we had a fair few. And a good variety of like ages too. We had like some little kids, and towards the end of the night we got like groups of teenage boys. Everybody was in costume. I just love Halloween. I don't have very many, I don't really like decorate the house for Halloween, so maybe that's something I'll keep an eye out the next time I'm at the thrift store too. Maybe some Halloween decorations. All right, these are the pieces we've done so far. We've got 6 of them. I have a lot more to go, but maybe it'll go a little bit quicker when I'm not talking to myself and worrying about filming. Before I end the video, if you stuck around this long, I do want to go ahead and show you. This is one of my favorite coffee mugs. This one is an Ursula Dodge design. You can see Dodge, her name there. I just love the style, like the lettering she does, the colors, the pastels. But anyway, this is one of my favorite Goodwill finds as of pretty recently. So thank you so much for joining me for this one. I will maybe make a part 2, film some more decoupage, we'll see. But yeah, for sure, when I finish the project, I will post pictures of it on my Instagram, so feel free to keep an eye out for that. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.